Hello, good afternoon. My name is Olabo Ayola. I'm student of international relations, and I'll be talking on democracy and international relations under the topic of Anglo-Saxon democracy, which is the case study of USA, UK, Canada, and Australia. Before I proceed, I will say the Anglo-Saxons they are the descendants of the German migrants or Celtic inhabitants of Britain, also as Viking and Danish invaders. And we can say they inhabited and ruled territories that are today part of England and Wales. We can say the people of Anglo-Saxon kingdom spoke distinctive dialects which evolved over time and together became Old English. And I will further proceed to the case study of US and UK. And under this, they were descendants of Germanic migrants. And discussing Anglo-Saxon democracy is more about discussing English democracy or UK democracy and the time of Norman conquest, which is 1066, which is inhabited and ruled territories that are today part of England and Wales. But it turns out the idea, specifically Saxon political tradition, also has a deeper history as it ultimately traces back to the roots of ancient Saxons, that is the German. And it is also connected to enduring myths about the American Constitution tradition. And also, in the 19th century, the idea of Saxon Constitution acquired a shameful association not only with so-called scientific racism, but also with Catholic and anti-migrant xenophobia. One of the significant difference between the heads of government in their terms of office, the President of the United States cannot hold office for more than the terms of 4 years, and the Prime Minister has his or her position for life or until he or she loses the House of the Common support. And the Prime Minister has his or her own position, and this feature is of advantage to the United Kingdom as it contributes to a more stable development and realization of long-term goals. Furthermore, the US and the UK have a bicameral system of government in which the people elect both houses of the American Parliament by direct vote, while the Parliament of the Premier appoints the House of Lords. The Prime Minister and the President choose the composition of their cabinet as they want. Um, and this is a fact, a drawback for the US system since the president has more limited participation in decision making and is a drawback for the government. So, in conclusion, under the UK and the US, I will say the political culture of the United States and the UK it differs in terms of power, specific functions, and structure. And some of these features have the advantages to ensure that there is effective and stable policies, while others are disadvantageous. The case study of Canada. The Canada Constitution combines the British and the American Constitution, and it was modeled by the American illustration after the American experience and Canadian experience, just like the US. Canadian written constitution makes it more like the US than the Britain because if you take it literally, it gives a false motion of how the country is governed. And the reason is that Canada also has an unwritten constitution like the British, and this governs the operation of the written one. And also, we can say the most important aspect of the Canadian government is entirely the British, not the American, because the cabinet is chosen from among the leaders and among the leaders of the majority of the Ottawa Parliament. And in these provinces, Canada already used the British arrangement in 1867 to be precise, when they established their federal union. So I will proceed to the case of Australia. And there are many similarities between British democracy and Australian democracy because Australia has a mixed system of government which is a representative of democracy and constitutional monarchy. And Britain and Australia are constitutional monarchies because with the power and vested in monarch or in Australia, their representative, the governor general, both nations have a form of government which is based on delegating the power to the crown, to the elected government. So in Australia, the Senate is elected, chosen by the voters of each state or territory, and the House of Lords in Britain is not elected at all because before 1999, the House of Lords consisted of very hereditary peers like barons, earls, dukes, and so on, and only 92 hereditary peers are entitled to a seat, and all these peers that are entitled are chosen hereditary. So in Australia, the House of Representatives serves a maximum of 3 years, and the Senate, which is except for the territorial senators, the Senate is for a period of 6 terms, which is begins from July 1. And both countries, the Prime Minister has to advise the Crown to dissolve Parliament. Um, this concludes my presentation on Anglo-Saxon democracy, which is the case of US, UK, Canada, and Australia. Thank you.